What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Music Elegancy by Elegancy. Today, we're going to be going over four of our favorite modern rap cliques or groups. We got Opium, Griselda, PG Lang, and Surf Gang. And
Surf
yeah,
gang.
if you know, you know, and if not, you're going to get
Yeah,
educated.
yeah. This has been a disaster of an episode thus far. Connor had a lot
Yeah,
of technical difficulties for like the first 30 minutes, so we didn't start for like 30 minutes, and then his dick's his disk space became full halfway through the episode, and then we just decided to restart the entire thing. So we're starting like an hour late, but it's fine. We'll get through it,
yeah,
and we'll educate you, like Connor said. Just to hop right into it, our first group is Playboy Cardi led Opium, his label that he started in probably early 2020. Cardi, he was famously signed to what is it called? ASAP Mob in probably like 2017, 2018. He had some collabs with ASAP Rocky. He was like the main steal of the show. That doesn't even make sense, bro. I'm just rambling. He was the main
main event.
source, the main event. That's what I was looking for
Yeah,
of the ASAP Mob mixtape number two, Cozy Tapes. That's what it's called, right?
yeah.
Too
Cozy
cozy
Tapes
or like
Volume
too
1 and
cozy.
2.
Yeah, he was like the main event, and then he kind of ditched ASAP Mob and created his own label where he would famously just ignore all of his artists and not really talk about them whatsoever and not collab with them whatsoever. He would just be uh, executively producing their albums, which, if you know anything about me, I think that's just like a buzz term. It doesn't mean anything. It's just for marketing. I just think it's a stamp of approval, just a thumbs up from Cardi on their albums.
Yeah,
So the
yeah, you
three
got a
artists
weird
that he
thumb.
signed, I do, yeah, I got a hitchhiker's thumb. The three artists that he signed, or technically four, was Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, and Homicide Gang, which consists of Homicide Bino and Homicide Michi. And also, there's a rumored member called Homicide Poo Poo, according to the Playboy Cardi subreddit, uh, a secret member of Homicide Gang, Homicide Poo Poo.
I had no idea about Homicide Poo Poo.
Yeah, he's up next.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, you're kind of an opium noob from the knowledge that I know of you, right?
Yeah. Like, I know about him and stuff, like a little bit. I listen to the albums when they come out, but I only listen like once because it's just bland. Like, I want to see more experimentation. I feel like Opium
Yeah,
is such a unique label, but they all fall in like such a like average, like compared to each other, they're all the same. Like compared to rap in general, they're unique, but they're all in that same style of unique. Like there's not enough
yeah,
experimentation going on.
yeah. It's just like, I'll just say this right off the bat. If you know you don't like Playboy Cardi's music, if you think it's trash, you think it's just mindless and not worth your time, imagine that, but like lower echelon. That's what the rest
Yeah.
of Opium is like. So if you don't like Playboy Cardi's music, there is no chance in hell you'll like any of the other people's music. So that's
Yeah.
just my little disclaimer. But I guess it's better to be a little bit educated nonetheless.
Yep.
I could We'll start with, I guess, the pre opium days before Cardi created the label. Cardi obviously was already pretty famous with Die Lit and his self-titled debut, which were basically executively produced by Pure Born, who had like a very minimalist take on trap music. So did Cardi, and those two minimalist ideas clashed perfectly to create kind of this new trend in hip hop that everyone from Drake and Kanye were trying to get Pure Born to produce their songs. So that was a very influential moment. And obviously, ASAP Rocky signed him and wanted to display him. And then Cardi was like, okay, it's time for me to create my own label, create my own image, create my own aesthetic. So he signs Ken Carson, who dropped Teen X, which was like a little EP, Destroy Lonely, who dropped Broken Hearts Squared, which is such a weird album title because it's literally
Yeah.
like symbol. It's like all the symbols of like a broken heart and then like the squared. But that's like the deluxe. It's technically like Broken Hearts or whatever. And then Homicide Gang, which I don't think had much music out before they were signed. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd
all
never
three of
heard of
those people.
Homicide Gang before.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, people say that like Ken Carson was a very big influence for Whole Lotta Red, which was kind of like the seminal moment where Opium, I guess, was technically created as it's like on the album cover. It's not technically released under Opium, but it's on the album cover, so he likes to pretend that it is because Cardi's song Teen X featuring Future samples the song Teen X off of the EP called Teen X by Ken Carson. Try to say that 3 times.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Which is a pretty cool fun fact. But like we said, Ken Carson's music is pretty, I guess, unremarkable. We were talking about this earlier because, like I said, we recorded like half this podcast. He dropped his not debut mixtape, but his first mixtape under Opium called Project X, and it felt fresh at the time when it first dropped. I remember we reviewed it when it first came out. We didn't really praise it a ton. I think we both gave it like sixes, but I think it's only really aged worse as time has gone on, as Rage has like developed into more experimentation, more cool ideas. This was just kind of a very bare bones Rage project. Bro, why do you drink the water like that?
It's funny.
Bro, this is how much Connor doesn't care about Ken Carson. Bro, Ken Carson, we were talking about this in the Head Ass You interview, which never came out due to technical difficulties. But
Oh
we
yeah.
basically asked him what is his favorite Opium member that isn't Playboy Cardi. And we were talking about how when you listen to Ken Carson, it's like you're losing IQ points as you're listening to it. And like I know that's like a common like stupid thing that like people who hate rap say, like rap is so stupid. But I don't know, man. There's something about Ken Carson's music. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
happen with me with Destroy Lonely or Homicide Gang or Cardi, but with Ken Carson, just the way he pronounces things, like his just vocal delivery with the crazy auto tune, it just man, it just makes me feel stupid. But I guess that's kind of the appeal.
Somehow that is the appeal. Yeah.
Yeah. Then like a year later, Ken Carson dropped X, which famously got a 0 out of 10 from Anthony Fantano. You know, that's like the worst thing that can ever happen to a musical artist, I guess. But I think out of all the 0 out of 10s that Fantano's gave, this one probably has the most fans of it because we haven't mentioned it yet, but Opium has probably the most die-hard cult fan base of all time. Like they will die for these guys. They will stalk these guys. They will just like listen to like if they dropped a 1 second song with like just one word, they would like stream it 1,000 times in a row. They would just eat it up. This is a very diehard fan base, and because of that, they kind of get made fun of a lot, which is fair. But I think it's one of the funniest fan bases. They have a lot of funny memes, a lot of funny inside jokes and stuff like that, like homicide poo poo, as we were talking about earlier, just stupid stuff like that. But
Yeah.
X, it's a pretty controversial album just because of how I guess mindless it is, how it kind of rides off of the success of Whole Lotta Red and doesn't really uh, do it justice, I guess. But there is tracks that I like on this album. I don't think it's even close to a 0 out of 10. Connor might think it's close to a 0 out of 10. I don't know. I like this song Freestyle too because I'm a big Filthy simp. I love Filthy beats. He's probably my favorite Rage producer.
Yeah. If Filthy was on
He,
Opium, then
I,
that adds so
he's kind
much
of
to
like
the label.
he's almost like an unofficial member. I feel like, especially because
Yeah.
he was a big part of Whole Lotta Red. He's produced, I think, for all the members so far. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Then we got our boy Destroy Lonely, which he's kind of famously, I guess, the only innocent Opium member. Because if you don't know anything about Opium, uh, basically, unfortunately, like all of them have lots of controversies surrounding them when it comes to the law, whether that be like drugs or domestic violence, which is really unfortunate. I think it's gonna diminish their brand as the years come by because people don't want to listen to crappy people,
I
But
don't know, Luke.
Destroy
I think
Lonely,
unfortunately that is the brand. Like it's literally called
yeah, that is
opium, a
true.
drug that destroyed a whole country. Like it's just about being
Yeah,
like the clothing brand is called Narcissist, bro. It's just about being like a horrible person basically. Like Homicide Gang. It's literally their
yeah,
name.
yeah. Maybe I didn't think that one through too much, but
Yeah.
Destroy Lonely is like there's like this meme that they always post where it's like a slideshow of everything that the rappers have done wrong. You got like there's only one of the Homicide Gang members is actually like pretty fine too, but it'll show like all the bad things that Cardi's done, all the bad things that Ken Carson's done, and then it'll show Destroy Lonely, and it'll have one thing, and it'll just say ugly, and then it'll move on to Homicide Gang and all the bad things they've done. So they just make fun of Destroy Lonely for being ugly. But I feel like Destroy Lonely kind of has a similar style to Ken Carson, but he's much less uh, quote stupid. He's much more, I guess, elegant with how he delivers his words. He's much more, I guess, aesthetically pleasing to my ears. But that's uh, it's not a big upgrade. I think Fantano gave No Stylist Destroy Lonely's album a 1 out of 10 instead of a 0 out of 10. So that's how you know it's a classic.
Did you know Homicide Poop did 9/11?
Homicide Poo Poo? It's Poo Poo, not poop.
Sorry, Homicide Poo Poo did
Bro,
9/11.
you're not even you're not opium. You're not opium for
I'm
real.
not open.
But yeah, No Stylist was a Destroy Lonely's album that got a 1 out of 10. I love probably the first like I don't love, but I like the first like half of the album. I think it's pretty good. There's some like good songs like Jet Lagged and No Stylist, which was like a pretty big song on like TikTok. But then the second half rolls around and he incorporates this lame guitar. It's like the opposite of how Cardi incorporates guitars into his concerts, which just sounds so cool, so badass. But when Destroy Lonely brings it on for No Stylist, it's just super lame. It's just like boring guitar riffs, and it's not like a cool sounding guitar. It's just a lame sounding guitar. I don't know how to put it any other way. I feel like that kind of spoils the album. But he released a single called If Looks Could Kill, which is a pretty cool title, I guess. But that's a pretty big song. I think it's his best song so far, and arguably the best song from any Opium member that isn't Cardi. So maybe the future's looking bright for Destroy Lonely, I guess.
Wanna know what I just realized?
What?
Like, if you could just take besides Cardi, just take all the Opium members, delete all their albums, and just pick like 3 songs from each, you could make like a fire Opium mixtape, like from the whole label or something. Like
That's so true.
Opium, whatever it's called. Like
Opium tape.
cozy tapes, volume 1. Like you could do Opium tapes. Like it'd be so good, but there's so much like filler.
Yeah,
and
they're
just
bloated.
boring.
Yeah, they're bloated.
Yeah, it's bloated.
Like all their albums are like an hour long, which there's no reason for any of their albums to be an hour long. And
Yeah.
I guess that brings us to our third uh, artist, which is Homicide Gang, composing of Homicide Bino and Homicide Michi. These guys,
And Homicide Poo
I
Poo,
think,
don't forget. Jeez,
bro,
you're
he's
not Opium.
unofficial. He's unofficial. He's
Still.
yet to be signed, but like he operates in the shadows, you know. But
Yeah.
Homicide Lifestyle, their album, I think Connor said he wasn't a big fan of it, which is
No.
weird because I think it's the closest to emulating Cardi that any of them do, which
That's
maybe
literally
is a
why I
bad
don't
thing.
like it. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. But like, I don't know. I feel like they just channel a certain energy that gets me hype more than any of the other music. So I just respect it a bit more, and I like their sample choices a lot more too. Like they have a regular show sample on the song Draken. I mean Draken. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they incorporate a song from the Mordecai and the Rigby's into their beat, which is pretty crazy.
That's wild. I
Yeah.
get like the appeal of them because like that's the reason why I like Trippie Redd's album, what's it called, Trip at Night,
Trip at
because
night.
it's just
Yeah.
more rage sound when there's like such a little amount because it's such a new genre. So like I
hmm
get like in Homicide Gang for more of that Cardi energy, but it's just I don't know, it's like so overdone, it's boring
Too
somehow.
derivative for you.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. I guess the context. You basically listened to their entire discography yesterday,
Yeah.
like all in one go.
Yeah,
Whereas
that might be bad.
I've been like systematically listening to them over the past couple years as they come out. So like I understand like I guess the context of like what's happening around each release, whereas you just kind of sped run their entire discography, which
Yeah.
that might say something about their music overall, I guess, that you need that context to understand it, which means it's not good. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Opium.
besides Destroy Lonely, like Ken Carson and Homicide Gang, like I listened to their albums like not right after they came out, but like recently after they came out, and it's still
Hmm.
it's just boring, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say the most interesting draw of Opium, other than the fact that they're like all bad people, is their like fashion choices. You know, they
Yeah.
kind of draw. They almost remind me of Haunted Mound sometimes, especially Ken Carson, with like those super low quality pictures of like them wearing like True Religion jeans and like high fashion. You know, it's just they
Yeah.
have an interesting fashion choice, and I think that's a big reason that they have that cult fan base is because if there's one thing they're all good at for sure, and that's formulating aesthetic, I guess, and just cool pictures and cool photo shoots.
Yeah, they
Even
definitely have
if
a cool
even
aesthetic.
yeah, even if their music isn't the best sometimes, at least you kind of can like you can feel cool while listening to it just because they've formulated a cool aesthetic around it. That should be an episode we do some days, just talking about aesthetic and the powers it can have over music.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. We don't have much else to say about Opium. They're one of the most I don't want to say groundbreaking, but they're one of the most, I guess, famous. Like they're up and rising. People, all the kids are talking about them. Yep, all the kids are doing opium.
Yeah.
So yeah, opium. They're up next, I guess. The next label we'll talk about. We're moving from opium to Griselda, and there's a lot of members in Griselda. I'll have to pull up a list. You start talking about them while I pull up the list.
So Griselda, we have West Side Gun, probably the most famous, well-known artist from the clique Griselda, and we have Benny the
Hmm.
Butcher and Conway the Machine. Those are like the big three, and
Yeah,
then
and they're all related.
yeah, and they're all related. And I know there's like a bunch of other people, but
Okay,
they're
I have the list. I
they're
have
in
the
the
list now.
shadows. Luke will tell you.
We have Mac Homie, which is like he's an OG member and then kind of left and then got reintroduced at like 2020 with Pray for Haiti. He's kind of a more abstract hip hop artist, kind of more like Earl Sweatshirt. And then you got Armani Caesar, which is like if you made Nicki Minaj a boom bap rapper. Then you got Boldy James, who's kind of like Freddie Gibbs. Rome Streets, who's also kind of like Freddie Gibbs. Stove God Cooks, who just features like on like every West Side Gun song. Jay
Yeah,
Worthy, no idea who that is. YN Billy, no idea who that is. And then you got some producers like Conductor Williams. And if you start listening to Griselda's discography, you will get a good knowledge of who Conductor Williams is because he has a very fun producer tag.
yeah, they're
Conductor, we have a problem.
on the shoot. What's the album with the guy? It's just like a
Kiss the ring.
selfie. Kiss the Ring. Yeah, he's flipping off the
Yeah.
camera. There's one song on Kiss the Ring where he says, "Conductor, we have a problem," like just over and over, and you're just like, when is it gonna
Yeah.
stop? And it just keeps going. I was listening to that, and it because like throughout the thing, I was like, "Geez, I keep hearing Conductor, we have a problem," and it was like getting more
Yeah.
and more repeated as it goes. And then that song came on, and it just blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing about Griselda is they're a bunch of old people, but they're just blowing up now, which is kind of an interesting thing. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, not just blowing up now. They blew up a couple of years ago, but they're all like the main three, I guess, are all in like their 40s or like late 30s, which is pretty old. So that's like a I guess kind of a main thing about their music is like they appeal to younglings like us because they're like new artists, but they also appeal to the old heads of the world because they take such influence from like old school hip hop and are just kind of old heads overall, especially Benny the Butcher.
yeah,
Like West Side Gun, I could see him like featuring like a bunch of young rappers on his albums. Like he feels like he's in touch with like the young generation, but like Benny the Butcher just seems like a resentful old man. Like there's a bar on one of his albums. He's like, "This is an old man's world. The people who are old get the things done," or something stupid like I don't remember what he said, but he was just basically saying like old people are better, which is
yeah.
kind of funny. He famously had a beef with Freddie Gibbs before Freddie Gibbs dropped his album. Do you remember that?
No, not really. What happened?
Basically, I don't know all the details of it, but it kind of just devolved into Freddie Gibbs just saying, "Bro, your hairline's whack," just over and over and over again. Freddie Gibbs is just like he's a crazy troll basically, and Benny
Yeah.
the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs they have music together, but like it was actually a serious beef. Benny the Butcher was pissed about it. Apparently, like Benny the Butcher sent out like goons after Freddie Gibbs to beat him up, but Freddie Gibbs like was fine afterward. He actually got like a black eye, like swollen eye, and then he performed a concert right after, like he didn't even care.
Remember when Freddie Gibbs was on Instagram, bro? I miss that.
He still is. He just has like
Is he?
his account gets deleted like every other week, and he has a new
Oh,
one that pops up. You have to go on the Freddie Gibbs subreddit just to know what his accounts are.
bruh. Does he still
Basically,
post the crazy stuff?
yeah, that's why he gets banned. Is Freddie Gibbs has literally no filter, and he doesn't understand. I think he does understand. He just doesn't care. He
Yeah, he
will
doesn't
post
care.
the weirdest memes you'll ever see, the most like gross things you'll ever see. Like it's just so it's like if you ever been on like those like uncanny valley like subreddits or just like hood like weird hood videos, he'll just post those. Like he'll
Yeah.
post like a video of just like some dude eating like rocks and cereal or some crap like that, or just like some random fight that he finds online, and then he'll just caption it with laughing emojis. It'll be like
Yeah.
a person like losing their life, and he'll just be laughing at it. It's just it's a weird little thing.
Yeah.
It's just it's created a lot of memes.
He does not care about any terms of service. Like the most gory videos, like just pornography. Like he just doesn't
Yeah.
care. I'll just put hella laughing emojis. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's such a weird little thing he did. And then Benny the Butcher. I don't know. After the beef with Freddie Gibbs, I've lost like respect for Benny the Butcher because like have you ever just like seen someone you respect just get completely like trolled and like you
Yeah.
just like damn.
They take it too
That's what
seriously.
happened to me. You're like, come on, it's Freddie Gibbs. Of course he's gonna
Uh
post
oh.
stupid crap like that. What did you run out of disk space? Did you?
Okay, my Siri just went off and I lost all audio of you. What were you saying?
Um, I forget what I was talking. I got scared that you lost the entire podcast again.
You're talking
But
about how you lose respect when they get too trolled.
yeah, basically, I don't know. It just kind of shows to me that they're like kind of very immature, I guess, because like I feel
Yeah.
like a good sign of maturity is if like you know how to take a joke and you know how to like control your temper when someone's obviously messing with you, which it's not an it's easier said than done, I guess. Like especially like you have a little brother, so you know how annoying it is to be trolled
Yeah.
constantly. I
And
don't
it's
have a little
like
brother. I was the little brother, so like I am the troll, you know.
yeah, exactly. Like if you succumb to the trolling and like basically if you what trolling is if you get emotionally affected then they win. Like it doesn't matter how mad you
Yeah.
get, they win. So seeing, especially on the internet, like some rapper get mad, it makes
Yeah.
them seem like even though their age is old, they don't. It's not like age that really matters. It's like how in touch you are with like the modern culture, and seeing you get
Yeah.
mad at someone making jokes on their Instagram story, like just makes them actually seem old.
And here's the thing, like Benny the Butcher took it to the length of sending people to physically hurt Freddie Gibbs, and then he still just kept going. That's
Yeah,
just how like that's how you know you lost. Like you literally like threatened him to the point where he could have probably died, but he's still
yeah,
just making fun of your hairline. That like that's how you know he took the. But back to actually talking about Griselda, uh, I feel like they take a lot of influence from like MF Doom, that kind of era of hip hop, like abstract hip hop, and then bring in
yeah,
like the old Biggie Smalls and Tupac rapping about uh, cocaine and the industry and crap like that. You know, it kind of gets old after a while, especially with like West Side Gun. Like we get it, bro. You do cocaine, not do cocaine. You sell cocaine,
yeah,
which which is I don't know. I don't hate it though. We've talked about West Side Gun before. He's one of the most interesting figures there because he's more of a curator than he is like a rapper, I guess. Like he has one
yeah.
style. He sticks to his one style. His style is super unique. Just crazy ad libs. He just does stuff like that on his songs, and he has a very androgynous voice. He almost sounds like a female, honestly. Like
He does actually.
If I showed you West Side Gun for the first time and said this is a girl rapper, you would probably believe me. But
Yeah.
Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine are much more hardcore. They're much more real. They're real gangsters. Benny the Butcher, especially, he kind of almost takes a horrorcore influence. He's scary with his raps, and then Conway is like, I always think of him as like a mix of Benny the Butcher and West Side Gun. Do you see that?
Yeah,
Do you see
he's like a
that
medium.
correlation?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
because
sense.
he has a more normal rapping voice, but he's also not scared to pull out some weird ad libs, especially with his laughing ad lib. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, he like laughs exactly like that. I always thought it was like a sample, like of a girl laughing, but it's literally him laughing.
Really?
Yeah,
Bruh, that's funny.
yeah. And Conway actually unfortunately left Griselda like last
Yeah,
year
what's up
after
with
he laid.
that?
I don't really know actually. I think he just was bored of it, I think, like I was saying, pretty repetitive lyrics, and I think his last album took a lot more of an introspective route, a lot more of a like, I guess, multi-faceted route. It wasn't just one dimensional. I think he wants to go in that direction, whereas West Side Gun and Benny the Butcher kind of just want to stick to what they're doing, I guess. But there's no beef between them. Apparently, it's just like it was a mutual decision, and I think they're still going to collab together. But he's just not a part of the label anymore.
So didn't his album was the Fentanyl album, right?
Yeah, that was an old album,
Oh,
like
was
from
it?
2018.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just new to streaming. I see. So has he
No, it's not
dropped
new to
anything?
streaming.
Oh,
I
really?
just I just put a random Conway the Machine album there. That's one of their
Oh,
earlier albums.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, it was a good album, but so he's dropped an album since he left the Griselda.
He's
Or
dropped some
Griselda.
like random collab projects, but I don't know if he's dropped an album. I think the God Don't Make Mistakes was like that came out the same day that it was released that he's leaving Griselda. So that was like his final album with them. It was like
Oh,
Kendrick leaving Top Dog with one
yeah.
final album. But
That's
yeah.
weird. I figured it might be because I know they had like a TV show or like a Griselda album or something, and like he
Hmm.
was gonna focus on like producing, but it was made under Griselda, so he would still be like in the gang or
Yeah.
whatever. So I don't know. It's weird,
Yeah. Griselda, I
especially
think
since
they
they're all
work.
family, so like they're close, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think Conway and West Side Gun are brothers, and then Benny the Butcher is a cousin. I'm pretty sure. I could have that backwards though.
Yeah, I don't even
But
know.
yeah, but basically after Conway left, I feel like West Side Gun took it upon himself to like try to lift up some new or unheard of rappers like Rome Streets. We were talking about Kiss the Ring, which I
Yeah,
feel like he's pretty similar to Conway, just with his
yeah,
delivery and how he raps.
I thought
So I
that
guess
too.
he's kind of the replacement Conway the Machine. He has the like same like amount of chemistry, maybe not as much as Conway did with the other two, but he's a good replacement. So yeah, it will be interesting to see the future of Griselda. I don't know if it's gonna go up or down or whatever. It's kind of weird because every time I think they're gonna be done, they drop like better albums. Like 10 was really good, and God Don't Make Mistakes was really good.
Yeah, I have to ask you a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Would you rather be more like I feel like Stove God Cooks is more famous than shoot, I keep forgetting his name. The one who made Kiss
Rome
the Ring.
Streets.
Yeah. Like
Rome
Stove God
Streets.
Cooks is more famous than Rome Streets, more well known because he's on all of West Side Gun songs, like almost all of them. But Rome Streets is like known for his own albums. He's not known as much for being on other people's albums. So would you rather be bigger but only be known for being on other people's like curated albums, or would you rather be less known but be known for your own like body of work?
I would rather be known for my own body of work. You know why?
Why?
First day of class, I walk into linear algebra, and there's a kid wearing a Kiss the Ring hoodie.
Oh, really?
You're never gonna see someone wearing a Stove God Cooks hoodie. Doesn't matter if he's
Yeah,
technically more well known. No one's gonna wear a random feature on a West Side Gun album. They're gonna be
true.
wearing the album that actually
Yeah, that
released.
is a stronger fan base. Good
Yeah.
point.
So yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the production a little bit. They have like a very abstract, very it's like it's I think it's called drumless production because it just like
Yeah.
it banks on the drums from the samples they pull from, which is an interesting idea. It's kind of popularized by The Alchemist, who's a really good producer. He's similar to Madlib, which was another guy who popularized and maybe mastered that style of production the best. He has a couple collabs with West Side Gun. I wish there's like a hypothetical Madlib and West Side Gun album in the works, but I don't know if it will ever drop. He always says it will drop, but then it never does.
I hope, bro. That there's so much potential with that.
West Side Gun is low key kind of like Kanye, where he just announces a bunch of projects and then never drops them.
Yeah. And then they'll just drop like 3 projects all in a row randomly.
Yeah. Another weird quirk about Griselda is kind of their fascination with like dictators,
Oh yeah.
especially Adolf Hitler. For some reason, West Side Gun has now 10 mixtapes called Hitler Wears Hermes. I still don't understand why.
It's Hermes, Luke.
I said Hermes, actually.
No, you said it
Um,
with too much H. There's no
my bad.
H. Come on, man.
I don't understand why. I don't think we'll ever understand why. But after like all the like Kanye stuff came out, West Side Gun named his the 10th iteration of the series, just 10 instead of Hitler Wears Hermes
Oh,
10. He
really?
just
Is
got a
that
10.
why?
That's my guess, or just he wanted to be like cool or something. Also, he pulled like a tech company where he skips 9
Oh yeah.
technically, because there's side A and side B of part 8, but there was never technically a ninth iteration of the series. But there was
Yeah.
technically it was like 8A and 8B, and then he just went to 10. So that
Yeah.
means 8B is technically 9, or it means he is just being like Microsoft and skipping 9.
And Apple.
Yeah, and Apple. That's such a weird thing. Why do they do that? Maybe there's like some like weird like industry like superstition. Like you can't name anything 9
Well, the
because
thing
it's named
is,
after because
there's
in
that
honor of Juice
superstition with
World.
13, but they'll
But
still
there's the
name things
iPhone
after
13.
13. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a number with
It's
actual
Connor.
superstition.
Connor, listen,
What?
listen. It's in
What?
honor of Juice World.
Yeah, bro. They're just like we
Okay.
just retire that number from society because of Juice World. His death was too
Nine
tragic.
999. Juice World forever. Okay. How much time?
Hold on. Pause.
I don't. Are we? We're not really pacing
Pause.
ourselves well.
Can you hear
What?
me?
Okay.
My
Yeah,
headphone
I
died.
can. Uh-oh.
I don't know why it didn't warn me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but just hold
Do you
on.
have to get wired headphones?
No, I just put the other earbud in. It's good now.
Oh. Okay. Hopefully
Alright.
your audio doesn't
Yeah, it's
go
fine.
to crap.
I think it's fine.
Okay. Our next group, this is one of the more weirder groups, one of the weirder ones to talk about, I guess, because just there's not much information about them, and that's PG Lang, which is Kendrick Lamar's little label that he's been building up over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
very
what does
mysterious.
it sounds like a damn coding language. Like, does it not? PG Lang,
Yeah, no, I'm looking
Python,
at it,
Python.
and maybe it's PL Gang. They just switched them, or LP Gang, because like what does PG Lang mean? You
Oh,
know,
it could be programming or like programming
programming
language. It
language
literally
gang.
okay. Yeah, bro. PG Lang, Kendrick Lamar. Everyone knows who Kendrick Lamar is. You know, he's one of the most
Yeah,
famous rappers on earth. I feel like all of his albums up to Damn, I wouldn't consider those like PG Lang, but like Damn, I feel like was like the birth of like the idea of what PG Lang can be, and that's like kind of like
yeah,
this idea of like alternative trap music. Like I feel like that's what he was trying to go for with some songs on Damn, not everything. Where it's still
yeah,
like it has that pop rap feel of trap, but it also has more, I guess, like interesting production choices and like more lyrical value, I guess. And then PG Lang consists of Dave Free, who's like the director. He's just a random dude. He's not like a rapper or like musician or anything. I think he like helps mix the music videos, but he's like technically the owner of PG Lang, I'm pretty sure. And then there's Baby Keem, who's Kendrick Lamar's cousin, and Tana Leone, who is some random schmuck that I'm not a huge fan of, honestly.
Yeah, me
No
neither.
diss to him. I'm not really a huge fan of Baby Keem either, honestly. Is that a controversial thing to say?
Probably because he's like so big with TikTok sounds, but for me too. Like I like Baby Keem. He's very, I don't know. He's like very experimental, I guess.
Yeah.
For being the cousin of one of the biggest rappers of all time, he isn't afraid to like try things.
Yeah. What I respect him as is a producer. He's like a pretty good producer. I
Yeah,
like how his production style with those like rolling 808s. He's obsessed with beat switches, which created a really annoying trend for the past couple years where rappers just do beat switches for no reason whatsoever. Saw it a lot on
yeah,
Drake's music. But yeah, Baby Keem. I don't know. Here's the thing about Baby Keem. It's kind of similar to Ken Carson. Baby Keem raps like how a 13-year-old boy would rap. Like just the way he says things, this like on this opening track, Trademark USA, it has just this really cool beat, like this high pitched noise, like "Gee," and then the beat
that song's
switches
so
to like this.
fire.
The beat switches to like this female like singer, and it's like all like atmospheric, and it goes, "I am a hot girl."
Yeah, that part's so weird.
How much did Baby Keem have to pay that poor vocalist to say "I am a hot girl"? Like she's like playing the perspective of like this girl he likes, and he's like, I am like I'm just so confused on the and there's just stuff like that throughout the entire album. Just he has just weird little things that's the reason a lot of people love him though, just because he
Yeah,
feels
that's the
so
appeal.
youthful. He feels so youthful. I'm
He's
not
just having
always a big
fun.
fan of it. I think some of his songs just sound ugly. Is that a weird thing to say?
No, I get what you mean.
The Melodic Blue, I think it had some high highs but some low lows. I like his all his music with Kendrick Lamar though. When they team up together, you know it's gonna be fire.
Yeah. Whenever you say high highs and low lows, I just think of the trash freaking Jesus is King review we did.
Oh,
That was so bad.
bro, do you remember that one song that was on the radio in like 2016 by John Bellion?
No.
I'm at an all time low, 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 low,
Oh
low,
yeah.
low. That
Bro,
song,
that's like
I was
something they'll
obs-
be playing at Walmart.
bro. I learned how to play that on the saxophone in 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah, I remember showing it off to all my saxophone members in 7th grade. I'm like, yeah, guess what? I can play that John Bellion song. They're like, that's what they
What the
did.
heck?
Yep, that was pretty cool.
Bro, I just realized like our grades, like the school grades were like if you minus 10 from the year, it equals what our grades were cuz like 12th grade it was 2020, 11th grade it was 2021. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So off topic, but back to PG Lang.
Yeah, PG Lang, Baby Keem. When Kendrick Lamar was making "To Pimp a Butterfly," Baby Keem was a Minecraft YouTuber called like High Keem Plays or something like
Was
that.
he
I think
actually,
people,
bro? I thought you were
yeah,
trolling for a second.
no, I'm not. I think he deleted all the videos though, but you could probably find an
Dang.
archive of it. He literally made Minecraft Let's Plays while Kendrick Lamar was dropping one of the most famous albums of all time. And then now they're collabing on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I feel like they have like an influence loop where like they influence each other. You see Baby Keem on Mr. Morale, but you also see Kendrick Lamar on the Melodic Blue. So
Yeah.
it's a feedback loop. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, but Tana Leone is kind of the sore thumb of the group. Even if I'm not a huge fan of Baby Keem, I can understand the appeal and why he's like signed. But like Tana Leone, I don't understand the appeal. He just kind of sounds like knockoff Kid Cudi to me at points, and just knock off everything. Like he doesn't sound
Yeah.
unique whatsoever. He's just kind of mid. He might be the most mid person in this entire video.
Yeah,
No
probably,
diss.
to be honest. Back to what you were saying about the feedback loop. I feel like that's a direct opposite from not a direct opposite. It's like the same as opium, but like two opposite ends of the spectrum. Like opium is a
Yeah.
feedback loop to the point where they all sound the same, and PG
Mm-hmm.
Lang is like they're both like building each other up to different like heights of experimentation, but
Yeah.
not
I'm
like
on. I'm.
totally like Death Grip's experimental, just like doing weird things that you wouldn't expect, you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
somehow it
I
works.
think with PG Lang, it seems like it's a very abstract idea. I feel like what they're going for. Like, I feel like they want to incorporate theatrics into music. Kendrick Lamar, especially, he wants to make his albums feel like a theater experience, but he also wants to make his music videos feel like something else. It's just like
Yeah.
they're abstract. They're weird. They had a weird Cash App commercial. Did you see that? Like it was like last
No.
Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure they had a Cash App commercial, and it was really weird. They're just weird, but in a
I
good
feel like
way.
I might remember that. I should look it up after this. Back like
Yeah, I
what
think
you were
it blew
saying
up
about the
pretty big.
music videos, like kind of how you said "Damn" was like the first PG Lang like idea for an album.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely shown in like the music videos. Like it has a very similar
Yeah,
style to what they're doing now. So I think you're definitely right about that being like the start of the idea. I wonder if
yeah.
do you know if Baby Keem was like in music in like what was that 2017?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he produced or like at least helped produce some songs on the Black Panther album, but I don't know
Oh
if he
really?
has any involvement with Damn.
I don't
So
know.
it might be a little bit before his time, but like yeah, I feel like PG Lang, at least musically wise, they're definitely going for that alternative trap, unique trap vibe, like especially with Baby Keem. Kendrick Lamar obviously takes it to a whole different level,
Yeah.
because Mr. Morale isn't just an alternative trap album. It's much more than just that. It's like an entire like concept album. But with Baby Keem and I think Tana Leone is trying to be like alternative trap, but like I don't know how successful he's doing that. He kind of just sounds like a pretty decent rapper who hasn't blown up yet, but then somehow got really good equipment because his music is mixed really good. Like I was listening to Sleepy Soldier or whatever it's called. It's not a great album. It's like a 6 out of 10. It's kind of just boring. It's not like offensive, but it has some good moments. But it's mixed super well. So like PJ Lang definitely got that money behind him.
Yeah. I wonder, don't they like Kendrick and Baby Keem? Don't they have like another family member who's in music?
Not that I'm aware of, but maybe they do.
I swear there was like another like cousin
Should
of
I look it
Kendrick
up?
Lamar or something. Yeah, you should. But I wonder if that's Tiana Leone. It's definitely a stretch, but it's
Maybe it is Tana Leone.
it could be. Isn't he related to
Yeah.
Kendrick to Snoop Dogg?
Oh, yeah, you might be onto something. I kind of remember hearing something about that. I don't think there's a third person related to Kendrick Lamar that's in music, at least according to Rate Your Music, because
Oh,
it shows like who they're related to, and it says only Baby Keem. Let me check up Tiana Leone though.
hold on a second. Yeah. 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 Okay. I'll see what I can do. Bro says just checking if you're alive.
Bro, I'm looking up in the Snoop Dogg thing right now. Yeah, I don't know if that's true.
I swear we looked this up like a year or two ago, and like it was fake. He might be related to
Yeah, I
like
think
Nate Dogg or something.
yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say he's related to anyone on Rate Your Music, but who knows? Yeah, Tana Leone. He was on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I liked his feature, but when I checked out his album, I was just pretty underwhelmed.
What song was he on?
He was on Mr. Morale,
Oh, I don't
the
even
one produced
remember.
by Pharrell. But yeah, that's PG Lang. Pretty abstract, weird little niche little group of abstract hip hop. Abstract trap is what I would say.
Yeah. As far as potential goes, they probably have the most potential as a label or group in this whole
Yeah, I
list.
feel like out of all these people, I think Griselda might have the least amount of potential just because they're all so old and I feel like they're all just kind of doing the same thing, kind of riding off the
Yeah.
same style, you know? Like, at
Yeah.
least with Opium, even if they're kind of doing the same thing at Opium, at least they're all young, you know? Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of room to
They're at the
grow.
start.
Yeah, they've only dropped like one album each, so we'll see. But Opium honestly could all fall through if like all of them go to jail or something, which is sadly a possibility.
Yeah. Bro, I
That brings
think
us
that's kind
into
of the appeal of Griselda is that they're all like at the end of their career. And that's
yeah,
like
it's
it's
like
rare
a
for
final.
yeah, it's like they're doing the like grand finale is when they're popular, which usually the grand finale is like the sucky part of their career. So
Yeah,
it's weird that they blew up right before that.
definitely interesting. That brings us into our last group. Oh yeah, by the way, we may talk about Drone Gang, we may not. Does it just depends on how fast we get through this next group. But we didn't plan on it just because we have an entire post like going through like everything basically. And this podcast will be related to our next post. So like that's why we're not talking about Drain Gang, if that makes any sense. But
Yeah.
you know, we're big fans of Drain Gang. We've talked about them so much, so we thought it would be fair not to just to talk about other people for a little bit. But these people are very influenced by Drain Gang, and that is Surf Gang. You
I
can tell
hate
just by
Surf
the
Gang.
name. You hate them?
Surf Gang are my enemies.
Do you actually hate them, or is it just a little troll you're doing?
It's a little bit of a troll because you like them, but I don't like them at all.
You're just bored by them?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's your gripes with them? I
My
want to hear
gripes
this.
with Surf Gang, I don't. It's like there's just so much Drain Gang influence, and like their sound, like their aesthetic is basically the same as Drain Gang, and their sound is like just average like trap, like a little bit of like hyper pop, like Drain Gang style. But it's literally if you took Drain Gang and just made them more mediocre. That's all it is to me. And Surf Gang
Really?
is like, yeah, it's just like a worse name
You just
too.
don't like the Yeah, you don't like the name. Here's the
Yeah.
thing, like I kind of see where you're coming from, maybe with the production, but the vocals are way different than Drain Gang for sure. They definitely have like they almost have like a Black Cray influence, like Mo Betta and Polo Perks especially, or I mean Mo Beretta. I always thought I have like dyslexia, bro. I always thought his name was Mo Betta because you know like it's more better, but it's
Yeah.
Mo Beretta, which kind of made me sad. I think the
Yeah.
most like famous member of Surf Gang is Baby X Sosa, which is a female vocalist. She's known for her very like she just has such a unique delivery. It's very you'll either love it or hate it. It's very kind of whiny and moany, but that's kind of what I love about it. It's just ridiculous. I like it. And
Yeah.
she has ties to Playboy Cardi for some reason. Evil Gianni is the producer. I would say like that's the main draw, the main big thing that I like about Surf Gang is the production, especially from Evil Gianni. I think he's a very multifaceted producer. He can have that like Drain Gang style production where it's like cloud rap, like bright cloud rap, but he also has like this like sample driven drill kind of sound that he used for because he produced a song for ASAP Rocky and Cardi that never dropped that was like posted on ASAP Rocky's Instagram. I forget what it's called, but it was produced by him. And also
Oh.
that song that I sent you, Jackie Brown by Mo
Oh
Beretta,
yeah.
where I said ASAP Rocky would sound good on this. Like that style production is so unique and cool. It's just driven by samples and it has like dringing kind of drums, but it has like sample based production. It's like mixing Griselda with dringing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think they're like a lot of elements of other groups all put together. And probably shouldn't
Yeah.
hate them on them as much because that's how new art is made is combining things other people have done. It's just they're at the stage right now where it's all just the combination. Like you can tell where it originates from, but
Hmm.
once they have like found their own style more in all those combinations and like really make their own unique sound, then I'll probably like them a lot more.
I think they might be like over soon, like because Baby X Sosa left, which was like probably the biggest member.
Oh really?
So I don't know. They dropped an
Dang.
album in 2022. It was really short though, but it was pretty good. Like I said, Evil Gianni, the producer, is just he's the goat of Surf Gang. And apparently he has a song with Earl Sweatshirt as well that like Earl played at a concert, which
Really?
is weird, really weird collab. But
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
I was thinking the
So
other
yeah,
day we need to talk about Earl Sweatshirt some more. We haven't. We used to be big fans of him, but we haven't talked about him a lot recently.
it's just because he's a quiet guy, man. Like Sick was
Yeah.
like it was such a short little album. Like there wasn't a lot to talk about with it. So like
Yeah.
we've kind of like stretched it thin. But maybe we'll go back to it. We'll go back
Yep.
to Earl Sweatshirt. But yeah, I think Evil Gianni, especially because he's collabing with Earl Sweatshirt, especially because he's collabing with ASAP Rocky. I expect him to blow up in these next couple years. That's my prediction. That's my Luke prediction of the day. Is that Evil Gianni in like 2025 will be like producing for Drake or something.
Interesting. I could see it
Bro,
happening.
guess where
What?
Evil Gianni was born?
In Massachusetts.
No, hint. It's a Tyler the Creator song.
Okaga, California.
Yonkers, New York.
Oh, Yonkers is a place?
Yeah. There's like a
Oh.
meme that like Tyler the Creator has a song named after a New York city on every album, and they'll start with Yonkers and then Buffalo off of a Cherry Bomb, and then it will be like Where the Flower Blooms, New York, and just like random
Is
ones.
that's not a real town, is it?
I know that's the meme. It
Okay,
starts
alright.
off with two real towns and then just gets
Okay.
into stupid. Oh yeah,
Welcome to
also
where this flower blooms. What the heck?
uh the Evil Gianni also produced a song for Pink Pantheress, which was really weird. Like a remix.
That is
Pink
weird.
Pantheress is bro, she's huge now after the Boy's a Liar part 2 with Ice Spice. Boy's a liar.
I
Boy's a
hate Ice
liar.
Spice.
Really? Low-key, she's fire.
Really? I
That
was
song is fire. That song is fire, and No Clarity is fire.
really. I
Yeah.
was like reading. I did a whole album like read through of all the lyrics while listening to it one night, and the whole time on Genius, like there was this video of Ice Spice and like a couple other rappers, and like there was no sound. It was just like an ad like in the corner. And I swear, bro, it just made me hate them all. I'm like, these people are all industry plants. They're all like fake robots. They're not real people. And now
She
I,
might be an industry plant, honestly.
yeah,
I
I
think she might be. She's
don't even
kind of
know,
a
bro.
troll. Okay, there's a weird bro, this is how down the rabbit hole I am into Drain Gang lore.
Okay.
The producer for Ice Spice said that okay, someone said they like added the producer of Ice Spice and said you should make a song with a Blade New York style drill beat, whatever the hell that means. And then he said this exists already. And then Ice
Dang.
Spice, she has a lot of lyrics that are actually very similar to Blade.
What
Like,
do you
and you
mean?
can like I can't name it off the top of my head, but there's a line on the Fool about brushing your teeth while thinking about someone, and it's almost identical to what Ice Spice said on one of her songs. And she also tweeted about a year back that she is smacked while listening to Swedish rap. Then news came out yesterday that there's a festival in Finland, and you know who's performing there? Blade and Ice
Oh,
Spice.
yeah.
Ice Spice and Blade are down to collab. It's going to happen.
Bro, you'll
Bro,
make fun of
imagine.
me for being into conspiracy theories, and then you'll know all this stuff about freaking Ice Spice, bro.
Bro, it's just I'm just a loser. What can I say?
We're just losers in different ways, I guess.
Yeah, bro. I just have the helpful knowledge. I help the world by informing them about the theory of Ice Spice and Blade. Blade's up next, bro. After the collab with Skrillex,
For
and
bro,
then the
what if he
collab, and then
becomes
he,
like the next Drake, bro?
bro. Okay,
That'd be
so
crazy.
first and foremost, he was nominated for the Swedish Grammys. That's a big deal, apparently. Secondly,
Apparently.
secondly, there's rumors that he's gonna be on the next Playboy Cardi album. Thirdly, he might have a collab with Ice Spice after that information I just gave you. After all those things happen, after he wins the Grammy, after he makes a hit song with Ice Spice, He will be the next Drake. And my The Fool merchandise will skyrocket in
Yo,
price.
true. Same as my freaking red light
Oh yeah,
shirt.
and the collab he did with Skrillex. That was a big deal, bro.
Bro, we should do a whole Drain Gang episode one day, just so we can wear our shirts at the same time.
Yeah. It's actually sad how much I could talk about them.
I know, bro. I was getting so sleepy before, and now that we're talking about Drain Gang, like I'm awake.
Yeah,
I have
man.
energy.
We should Surf Gang versus Drink Gang difference in our voices. You could do like voice analysis. Connor's like,
For real.
yeah, bro, I don't mess with Drink Gang. And then you talk about his red light shirt. He's like, we could wear our shirts at the same time, bro. We could be matching.
For real, dog. I was literally yawning
Bro.
before, and now I'm like all sitting up straight and excited.
Yeah, bro. It's like a caffeine boost. It's like the little boost that Batman gets in the Batman. When are you seeing the Batman, bro?
Yeah, I know. I still have to watch that.
Basically, there's a scene where he gets the crap beaten out of him. He's like struggling on the ground. He pulls out like this needle with like green liquid in it, stabs it into his arm, and it like makes him go rage mode. He
What
like
the
gets
heck?
awake and then starts beating someone up and like almost kills them.
This is the
It's
Batman?
like, yeah,
What
and
the
people
heck?
and people are theorizing that it's like the venom
Slurm?
that Bane uses. You know Bane, how he uses venom to make himself like buff and strong.
No, I didn't know that.
Dude, I thought you were into those Batman stuff.
I'm into the Dark Knight, like that one movie.
You gotta watch the Batman, and then you'll
Alright.
start to like Destroy Lonely because Destroy Lonely said he's Batman.
Bro, I'm Batman. Luke, I
You know what's
watched Ex
crazy?
Machina for you. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
We could talk about movies someday.
we should.
We always say that.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Originally,
about
Luke and
what it.
Connor was going to be about music mostly and movies and like other forms of art that we liked, but it just turned into all music.
Yeah, we can just talk about YouTube videos, bro. We can talk about Markiplier,
Bro, imagine.
Markiplier video review.
We should do that, bro.
Okay, if I had to rank the four little rap clicks, how would I rank them? Gosh, that's actually hard because it's like what they have out now versus their potential.
Yeah.
I'll say at fourth I'll put Surf Gang, even though I like them. I'll just put them there. They don't really have a lot of unique identity, like artist to artist, I guess.
Yeah.
Third, I'll put uh I'll put Opium. Just again, I like them. I think they have some great songs between them. I think they have like one great album, which is Whole Lot of Red. Other than that, they don't have a lot going for them, but they have a lot of potential. Second, I'll put Griselda. They're on the tail end of their career, like we were saying, but they have a lot of cool music out. They have a just an infinite amount of music. It feels like so. There's a lot to explore with them. And then one, I'll say PG Lang because there's a big bright future for them, and it's Kendrick Lamar, man. You can't go wrong with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like I don't want to agree with your ranking because of how how good Cardi is. I would have him above Griselda, but the other
Yeah.
three or four members, it's Homicide Gang is two. Like the other four members,
Homicide. Homicide.
they just
That's like the
bring
ad lib they
they
do.
bring his rating down like too much. So I actually
Yeah.
agree. Surf Gang, then Opium, then Griselda, and then PG Lang.
I'll
And
say
Drain
like
Gang's at the top, you know.
depending on how 2023 and 2024 go, you could definitely see Opium go to two, maybe even go to one. Like,
Yeah.
what if what if Kendrick doesn't drop, Baby Keem drops a trash album, like a collab album with like, I don't know, like Brent Faiyaz or whatever. What if he makes that and it's just boring and trash and then like Tana Leone like gets assassinated and PG Lang is in like shambles. What did they do after that? They could go down, but the potential that the chances of that happening versus them just dropping good albums,
Yeah.
very low.
Yeah, I agree. I think yeah, they all have potential besides
You
Griselda.
know what's interesting? The leader of Opium and PG Lang, Cardi and Kendrick Lamar, and they're both notorious for barely dropping music.
Yeah, true.
In the past couple years, at least.
Griselda is the complete opposite.
Yeah. West Side Gun like fake retires every day.
Yeah.
All right.
Literally every album is like his
It's my last album,
captions on
bro. I swear to God.
Instagram. Yeah, it's his last album.
And then he's like, okay, 2 more albums coming out next year. One with Madlib, and then that will never come up, and then he'll drop another random album. Okay. I think that's it.
Bro, he'll
Thanks for
literally come
listening.
out of retirement to release say he's gonna drop an album that never comes out. Bro, that's so funny, man.
Logic does that too.
Does he?
Yeah, he always says he's going to retire.
I haven't been
Okay.
keeping up with Logic.
Logically, we should end the podcast right now.